All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for another week of the Wave Gamers King of the Hill tournament, where we have two captains. One of them is the winner of the previous match, and they draft the teams out of the lobby, and then we play a captain's mode game. So this is going to be a Guardian of Cenarius, who's currently going by the name Do You Want to Build a Snow, up against last week's King of the Hill captain, which was Blueslice, who's currently sitting on 2 points. And I'm going to be joined today, as my Twitch starts making weird noises, by Davey and Dust. How are you guys doing?
I'm great.
I'm doing well.
Doing good? Doing good?
I'm doing better than
Thoughts?
Dust Crumble. I'm winning.
Thoughts on the opening bands? Because we got some fairly
just
standard
say
ones here.
briefly- Can I say briefly that game, the first game of last week, which was what, game 7? Are we that far into this? Was that game 7? 7 and 8 last week?
No,
Well, whatever
it was game 9 and 10 last week.
Wow, game
Yeah.
9.
This
Well,
is game
nine last
11.
week, I think that was our best game of the season. As someone who played in that game, it was very intense.
So Meta
Oh, I
versus
don't know,
Blue
that one with
Slice?
the one with the crazy finish was pretty good too, which I believe was game 5.
We had some pretty nuts matches last week.
We've had some great games.
I
we really
would
have.
I would completely agree with you on that.
But the bands and picks, sorry, but let's just
No,
go
no
straight to
problem.
the picks. VS versus Tide, very standard openings, no shocks, nothing banned out. The Invoker as a really early band stands out to me a little bit. He's really risen a lot in this meta. Queen 2 has really benefited from DAC. We
Well,
see
you-
Earthshaker follow up from Tidehunter.
You recognize the Invoker there is directly and exclusively a Cenarius counter.
For Cenarius.
Yeah, it's
As it should be.
the only reason.
He is a very,
you would wanna
very
do
good
that.
Invoker player. Is this Proton 2.0, Grumble? Do you want to call it?
It could a little be Proton 2.0, yeah. Proton was the guy from Season 1 of King of the Hill who was picked every game for his Invoker and tended to win with it. And we haven't seen that yet from Cenarius, but he's built up a bit of a reputation with the teams that are in the JDL. And yeah, it's commonly perceived to be a very, very good idea to ban it out against him. But what are your thoughts, Duds? I feel really strange because you're being quiet, and it's probably because we're talking too much, but you're never quiet. This is Dust.
I'm never quiet. No, I am quiet when I'm thinking. I mean, I'm looking at all these bands on the dire side. They're like really anti-meta. They're really worried about Jug because of his boosted crits and his ability to just hammer people with an early ult with that bonus from Mask of Madness, getting that 4th or 5th sometimes hit in. And that, like, just melting people. So they just got rid of him. Slark is always good if he gets a safe lane or if he's being sustained. So they just got rid of him, not dealing with that. And they got their own sustain with Bristleback. He can just sit in lane and ruin people's day with that Quill Spray, just getting that stacked damage, especially if he's level 6. So that's nice. Versus the Radiant bands, I mean, they're anti-sustain in some ways. I mean, Undying, even though he saps HP, he really does have this sort of sustain to him where he can just go, boom, you have no more strength. Boom, you have no more strength. Boom, I'm healing my friends who have no HP. And Dazzle with his Shallow Grave and his heal. They just wanted to get rid of that possibility of those two supports walking around and just saying, you just need to leave now. Just nuking people down, overwhelming them with overhealing allied creeps and dropping tombstones and making people crawl their way home.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I think what I'm picking up from this draft here is what Wave Romania really want to do is dive. Because I think the people that they're banning out are the people who can make it really difficult to dive under a tower. You don't want to dive into a Chrono. There's no point diving into a Slark. Jug's got the immunity of Omni Slash plus the magic resistance of Blade Fury. But they've picked up a Bristleback and a Vengeful, so they really want to be aggressive. And I think what Cocopy... You're absolutely right what you're saying about the Dazzle and the Undying. But on top of that, they fit so well with a diving strat. And I think Cocopy I think Blueslice has seen that coming and is working to block it.
I feel, David, to answer your question, that Venge is not a diver. Venge is a swapper. And so she literally, instead of diving, she changes positions. So the person that she swaps is completely out of position. But that's level 6.
It's a very strong
that's a
block
long
pick
time
versus
away.
the sniper too, because people love to swap the sniper.
That's true. But it's a long time away if she is a low position 4, position 5
And she's
hero.
got to split levels with that Lion. That Lion needs levels hard.
This is my guess right now, just looking at the way things are going to look. Lion's going to stay in a lane. He's going to pull creeps, and he's going to move things back and forth, but he's going to stay and support either Bristleback Sniper or this mysterious 5th pick. Venge is going to roam around, and then Bristle's going to join her and shit up, Radiant's safe lane to eliminate Wraith King getting farm if Wraith King is their position 1 safe lane farmer. I'm not sure. But, I personally am not 100% sure about how everything is going to synergize together with Sniper, because I feel like,
whoa,
everything's over already. Didn't even get to finish my sentence, and we've got ourselves a Death Prophet as our mid laner on Radiant's side, and an Anti-Mage as a safe lane farmer.
Why Anti-Mage into the Death Prophet pick? I mean, it's strong against Wraith King, but 2 big silences, and an AoE and a single target.
Yeah,
Instant cast.
I've got to say, Kokopi, I've got the kind of lockdown I would want to have on a team like this. Is it Tidehunter into Earthshaker? Is it Earthshaker into Tidehunter? You've got Wraith King to lock down whoever's needed, and you're right, Death Prophet and Skywrath to make sure that AM can't get away. Alright, well, I think what we said was we were going to have Dust do the big intro to the game itself, because he's Mad Madden, as I understand it.
Are we doing lineups first, or doing the Dust intro first?
I think we do. Dust do his big intro, and then we'll go through the teams.
All right, here we go.
Take it away, Dust.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's another King of the Hill game here this fantastic February 7th. We got 10 players, 5 on each side. We got Team Kokopi on the Radiant side, 5 nasty guys with range and melee, and then we got Wave Romania with all that fantastic movement with supports that can just knock people out, get stuns, get denies, and a heavy-duty fast farmer on Anti-Mage if he gets his Battle Fury up, but we don't know if that's going to happen because, we've got ourselves a Tidehunter who can get his Blink Dagger fast. He can jump in and ravage and ruin everyone's day. We got Wraith King who has 2 lives, but only 1 spell that you can activate, so we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, everything gets active right here. Top lane, Rune Spot. Cone is just sitting there getting that 100 gold, 100 XP. He wants to get that. Meanwhile, Dirge of Cenarius is just, not Dirge, Cenarius is here, just waiting as well, but maybe? Who knows? What do you guys think? 4 heroes top to ensure this. I don't even know who's going to pick it up.
I'm pretty sure Dire are going to get that first one. I'm pretty sure it's going to go to the Sniper. And I think the Radiant are going to get bottom, so no big fights early. I love it. I love it. We've got to do that at the beginning of every King of the Hill now. I love it.
That was great.
David, you want to introduce one of the teams quickly?
I will. I will introduce the Dire real quick. So on the Dire, heading mid on the Sniper, we are going to start off with Guardian Cenarius. As Grumble noted earlier, he's being played by Do You Want to Build a Snowman? But that is our captain, Guardian Cenarius. He was not actually drafter of this game. The drafter is on this Bristleback, I believe, and that was Slodcore. Slodcore is playing the solo offlane Bristleback. In the safe lane, we have Cone Wolf on his Anti-Mage. He is known as being very happy on Anti-Mage. Oh, we do see a slight wraparound on the Dire, maybe for this Tidehunter. Vladitz is going to come out here, has nothing leveled. Nothing leveled. Umar wants to do some right clicks back and forth with both supports. They want to get him low. Vladitz has his stun, he throws it out. Here comes Gal with an Earth Spike. It lands. They're right clicking. I think Umar's going to get out. They're going to have to dive him, and they don't. Vladitz did not have that magic missile leveled when they first walked in. But yeah, that's Vladitz on the Vengeful Spirit. And then last but not least, as previously mentioned, is going to be the Lion game played by Gal of Late Game Tango, one of our, not quite a sibling organization, but one of our friendly organizations, Late Game Tango, great guys. Gal here is a prominent member of that organization. We're very happy to have him.
And Dust, do you want to get on with introducing the Radiant team?
Fantastic on the Radiant. Team Kokopi, mid lane, we've got Blueslice on the Death Prophet. Bottom lane, support Earthshaker with Haha. Along with him, his safe lane carrier, Gimli on the Wraith King. Along with that, we also have Victor with the Skywrath Mage, also supporting Gimli in lane. It looks like Victor's just going to sit and keep Gimli safe while stomping on Sladcore. And last but not least, solo, hard lane is Umar on the big green watermelon Tidehunter. Now, I wanted to, while I was watching the team fight early, very, very early attempt on a First Blood, Umar had to get Kraken Shell to survive. But what confused me is that Gal and, what was the gentleman's name? Vladitz
yeah.
Walked around and blocked. I mean, that's what confused me, is because Umar was just standing. Lion and Vend were just standing there.
Oh, Sladcore's really... So I'm going to interrupt you there, Dust. Sladcore incredibly low on bottom, and there's a DD Earthshaker wrapping around here as well. If they can get the fissure off, which they're going to be able to do under cover of that Wraithfire Blast, this is going to be an easy first blood here for Radiant. Oh, the fissure actually misses, but this is still DD Earthshaker. They're trying to save the kill for the core, and they get it. First blood going to position 1 Wraith King. Beautifully done.
Not a bad first blood.
I wonder if Gimli will choose to go for Midas off that. He already has 1100 gold.
I think he will.
As the analyst, my big question that I think kind of needs to be answered here is really more of a social one than a drafting one, and that is these Wave Romania guys. We should probably use this time to very briefly really hype up our Wave Romania team, which is one of our newer additions and has been doing very well for themselves in JDL and the other tournaments that they're participating in. We're really pleased with these guys. A lot of really nice guys. Cenarius and Victor, I've been known to some of the guild guys for a while. But a lot of these guys don't know Sladcore or Vladuts, so it's really nice that everyone's going to have a chance to meet them and hang out with them because they're great guys and they're a great team and they've done very well for themselves. Grumble, you know these players on Wave Romania probably better than anyone else here today, not on the team.
The secretive world of Wave Romania.
Any insights, any comments about these guys? I know you're starting to getting to know them really well yourself. How do you think they'll do? You know, Cenarius and Victor, they're 4K and above players on the days that they play well. Cenarius has a great MMR. He's a great guy. Where do you rank the rest of Wave Romania just on a raw talent level? Obviously, winning in a tournament, especially this type of tournament, is more than that. But where are these guys compared to maybe just a Victor or Cenarius, from a raw numbers perspective?
I think Wave Romania is a well-balanced team. I think as we say, the Sladcore though going down again on bottom, in a tri-lane which arguably might be led by his teammate Victor there.
Yeah,
so
he knows some of his shenanigans, perhaps.
They know what they're up to, yeah.
And a salve right there for Gimli.
In
Will be going Midas.
Let me interrupt you guys there.
Please.
Looking at the Quill Spray stacks on Wraith, on all 3 of the Radiant teams, they all
one
have
more.
4 Quill. It was the
One more than
difference
the triple
between, Bristle getting 2 kills or Bristle dying and getting no kills, and we saw the result, which was
very close.
No kills, but it would have been a huge difference. Now this is the second time that Sladcore has died, and he's on a hero that really does need some initial money to get that tank to walk around and ruin everybody's day. And right now he doesn't have it. He's level 4. He's got 5 last hits. All he has is a Sage's Mask and a Stout Shield. I really, at the 5-minute mark, I would be happy if he had double the last hits or possibly an additional item.
I mean, at the same time, with that said, Umark also not even halfway through level 4, only 3 last hits, 400 gold and brown boots in the bank. Sladcore, not quite as much money. But has a Basilius and a Stout Shield, couple branches. He's definitely not doing well, but he's got good levels. I think the biggest problem is the fact that he's accelerating this Wraith King's farm. Already the Midas recipe in his inventory, so a little far behind, but he's enjoyed those kills. But Bristleback, kind of one of those funny heroes. Even when you die in the offlane, you can really just make life so hard for the tri-lane that you're going up against, as Bristleback's going to get this rune here up top. And we see a disconnect from Cenarius, but a quick pause. That even when you die, you can still just make it worth it just by really ruining life for the safe lane. But Gimli's farming. Midas will be done by the time he gets past this creep wave. I don't know if he'll wait for the shop to get to the side shop to finish it, or if he'll just call it from the courier. But can kind of do either here.
What's interesting?
But you have to understand. I mean, there's things that if you had your choices are a poorly farmed and poorly leveled Tide or a poorly farmed and poorly leveled Bristle. What would you rather have on your team? You need
because you just want 6. Other stuff Tide does are great, but that ultimate is such a big deal. Bristleback's ultimate is a passive, and he's got to really mix up in fights. So that's a fair point that you'd rather have him have the poor start on the Tide Hunter. Because Bristleback's really there to dominate the early game, whereas Tide is going to be a major factor the whole time.
Yeah, and the fact
couple of other interesting points to pick up on here, guys.
Please.
We've got the Midas recipe out on Gimli. That was out pretty early, about 5.5 minutes, and he does have the money now for the gloves of for the gloves as well. So he really needs to be getting to the side shop to get that finished off. Well, he's kind of wasting time on this lane a little bit. This is the kind of lane that you give to the supports, I think. If it's a question of I need to get to the side shop and finish my Midas. Rotation coming out. Smoke gank from the Dire supports up on top lane. They do drop a sentry out as well to make sure that there's nothing going to spot them out.
Deep wraparound. I don't know about this.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this either.
Gala's life.
This really could. And it's not like they've got a big creep wave coming in here either.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got an option to try and ambush.
Not a hero you want to do this with. Because they go in all the way around.
And then Blue goes
just gonna go
top.
for this top rune. Oh boy, and the smoke's gone.
And Blue's just going to sit and wait for 40 seconds.
Well, Blue's got an invis rune. He's going for a gank on top.
Top.
He's realised that the supports have rotated, knows that they're probably going for him, so he's going to get out. He's going to head top, looking for a...
Silence. He has a level in silence.
He does, yep. He's also got his ult.
These Dire supports. Just camping away.
They're hoping
Umark
that he
has
comes
no
back.
mana.
And here it comes. Cone gets silenced
JP
out.
ult. No, Cone's fine.
Yeah, he's going to be able to blink.
But they can push this tower.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Blue can use his ult to kill the creeps even.
Okay,
Pull
I'm
them into
totally
this camp.
confused with this pickup. Vanguard on anti-mage.
Old school anti-mage build. I've seen this.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
But I mean,
I've seen this build before.
Do you feel this is a worthwhile pickup when... Because you can't
No.
disassemble Vanguard anymore, and you've got a Wraith King who has an early Midas. I feel that...
Supports roaming bottom, guys. We've got to fight down on bottom lane. Dire supports have rotated down. We have got the fissure coming out from Howloon, though, and they actually managed to pick off the Vengeful Spirit as the first kill. Sidecore with a... Is that a haste rune or just Warpath? It is a haste rune.
Looked like haste.
Going down for Howloon. But his other support line finished off on the back line, and Sladcore actually in danger here. No, he'll be able to make it out with Gimli not having any mana for a stun. David, do you want to run the play-by-play here? Keep an eye on the whole map? Because that seems to be the vibe of this cast so far.
However you want it done, man, really.
Let's do it that way.
Oh, sure. Nope. However you want it, man. Okay. Well, in that case, we have
Wave of Terror.
Sniper, and then Wave of Terror. They wanted that, haha. They wanted the Earthshaker, but level 6. Not a, look at this. That's what level is the Vengeful Spirit? Could you just tell me real
Vengeance
quick?
3. Vengeance 3.
He's level 3.
Line is
That's not a good
4.
level. That's a bad level.
It's a bad level for anyone, but but this shows how a gank doesn't pay off. So you move yourselves, you smoke from a safe lane, supporting your carry, moving up into the mid lane, put down a sentry ward for I don't know why, because there's no invis heroes, and why would they put that ward there at this point with the Death Prophet that's going to push? They move down, they go between the towers, they hide, and they never see Death Prophet. So what they should have thought is, Death Prophet's not here. We should just leave. And they didn't do that, and Cone got himself a Vanguard, but they're now significantly behind. 3 levels behind on Veg, 2 levels behind on Lion in comparison to Tide and Skywrath, who are the big deal supports in my opinion. Earthshaker can set things up, but I mean, right now, Ravage is a big deal.
Mid lane, guys, if
especially
we
when
get
you
the focus
combine
there.
it with Skywrath's ult.
Okay. So we see Dire support's about to go in. Quick stun out on Blueslice. Venge still only level 3. She's fast, but not fast enough, taking a ton of damage from Sniper. He's gonna fall. There's a quick response to Skywrath. Looks like Venge was definitely dead. Tries to pop the salve, but it's not enough. And now here comes Haha. Low house on the Earthshaker, but the fight is over. 1 for 1. A good trade for the Dire. Happy to throw away a low level Venge. But Haha's low. Oh, the Sniper almost kills him. 35 health at the lowest point on that Earthshaker. Very close. Good awareness from Cenarius. Was that a magic wand from Earthshaker?
Yeah, he popped his magic wand when he came down here, and that gave him the 30 HP that kept him alive.
Yeah, he would have definitely died without that magic wand. No way around it. Do you see how many charges he had before?
I did not, but my best guess, because I watched him pop it,
Yeah.
and then the ult hit him, and, I mean, he was at 38 HP. That, to me, that says,
Close.
the
would've definitely
item
killed him.
kept him alive. Forget it,
Now,
the charges are one thing, but also you gotta remember the branches
Death
that
Prophet's
come with
back
it.
top again here. Sniper's pushing middle, but I wonder if they're going to try for something here on this anti-mage. Ravage is now available
Death
on the
Prophet
Tide
showed.
Hunter, but Kellen Wolf.
Death Prophet
Oh,
showed.
did she?
Yeah,
Okay,
she was
I
just a
wasn't
bit
sure.
too
Kellen
far
Wolf
close
just
to the
backed-
creep wave there.
She backed right up. She really did.
Radiant's middle tower is
And she
under
came
Now,
out briefly
really-
when Anti-Mage backed off from the creep wave. I think, thinking, oh, I'll just go in and get some creep farm, but obviously the creeps can spot you out as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that was probably an error there from Blueslice. Now we kind of not, well, we sort of laughed a little at this anti-mage vanguard. I think this is the fight that he has to justify it with. He has to be able to help defend this tower, or else getting a vanguard isn't worth it. You only want to get a vanguard on anti-mage if you know you're gonna have to fight and you don't want to. This used to be a much more common item on the heroes, so we'll see. There is a ooh, we got a Skywrath, couple nukes thrown out here on Vengeful Spirit.
Oh, Cone Wolf caught in the trees! Cone Wolf caught in the trees. Ravage goes down and does catch him.
He can come around the back here. He will. He'll find Umar. Umar will die to the sniper. Combe now goes in. Sniper doing a lot of damage. DP's alive. I mean, DP's dead. Sniper's still there. Bristleback running around very low. Good stun here from Ahaha, but he's out of mana. And Sniper is really hurting him. Throws out another shrapnel, slowing him down. Combe Wolf keeps hitting hard. He doesn't have the mana for a blink quite yet. Needs 5 more, but he's chasing and he'll have it. Skywrath is just going to TP out. So he should survive. But that was 3 for 2. And, you know, if Anti-Mage hadn't just blinked into those trees, I think they could have done even better. They did definitely lose the tower. Was not denied. But Death Prophet died in her ult. Grumble, what do you think of that fight? Victory for Dire?
Yes, largely. I'm actually not sure.
Go ahead. If you figured yourself out.
I'm not actually sure if it would have been better if Anti-Mage had been able to blink without worrying about the trees there. Because I think him coming in from the back was actually kind of useful, and Victor was running around behind the trees looking for him for some of the fight. What I think is really interesting is if you look at the net worth chart, the person, and this was true even before the previous fight. In fact, this has actually turned it around a little bit for Radiant. But Wraith King was highest in net worth, and that's his Midas working there. But despite the fact that it was 5-1 before that fight, the next 3 highest were the Dire cores, all at about 5,000, and then Death Prophet at about 2,900. So,
yeah, Cenarius
by
here
no
is
means
really...
are Radiant ahead here. By no means
Cenarius
at all.
has
Every
massive
time I've looked at the
advantage.
graphs as well, it's been in favor of Wave Romania.
Oh, and Cenarius is going to get a DD away from Wraith King. Oh, look at that damage, just chunking through. And his teammates are here. He can just back up and use these stuns. This Wraith King is definitely dead. Woo! Cenarius hitting for almost 200 here, 14 minutes into the game. Dust, I know it's a little late, but do you want to give a quick team fight recap for that bang?
I think we're going to have another team fight happening mid. I don't know if
Oh, let's
it's...
hold on here. That's a fair point. Blueslice does get caught by some sniper shots. Sniper ult comes out, but he's bottling. He should be fine. No more stuns able to come. Earthshaker has now parked himself on top. But everyone's just going to back out. Comewolf, Anti-Mage looking to farm. Let's hold off on the team fight recap, I guess. It's been a little while. We will definitely come to you first thing after the next one, Dust.
Yeah, it's alright.
Any comments now, Dust?
Well, this is my opinion about that team fight top. Even though they got 3 kills, even though they killed Death Prophet, until just now, Wraith King had been by himself. He has practically done his basher at 15 minutes with the Midas.
Sladcore in trouble
Is
on
that
bottom.
building?
Yeah,
Ravage popped as well to take out Sladcore to
Yeah,
interrupt the
he
TP.
did.
yeah.
Good job, Grumble.
This is the real concern. The fact that even though they lost a tower, they got some kills, a lot of big ults were used, Wraith King is down. The big concern is if Gimli, what is Gimli going to do after he finishes his basher? What is he going to do next?
It looks like we see a possible push coming out here on top, so let's watch and see what this Anti-Mage and Lion do. Death Prophet is here, is not here. She's middle. Her ult is available, but she doesn't have a lot of health and mana. So, there's both supports here on this top lane, just trying to hold the wave back. Anti-Mage and Lion not really being able to do anything yet. It's going to be hard for them to do it. Still kind of dual lanes Dota that we're facing. Grumble, if I could get your opinion, what do you think about this going Basher? Great call from Dust to point that out. Basher now totally done on the Wraith King, coming out on the Courier, although it looks like he's going to get got on here. Here comes Sniper, firing, he throws the stun. Wraith King realizes he's in trouble now. He's trying to run, but he knows he can't. His ult is not available, but it wouldn't matter. He'd definitely die for the second time anyway. Woo! Chunks a little health out of that Vengeful Spirit beforehand. but looks like he will head home. So Wraith King is dead. So let's talk about Wraith King. Grumble, Wraith King, Basher, immediately after Midas. What do you think?
He's getting it because they need to make sure they've got lockdown for the anti-mage, as well as being able to do a little bit more of extra damage and maybe slow down.
And maybe on Death Prophet, but she's fine. Go ahead, Grumble. Just keep talking. You're good. No fights.
Maybe able to do a bit more damage and actually win a 1-on-1 against a sniper as well with that. But I'm not sure it's a good call. They've got a huge amount of lockdown on the team. It's not that good without an existing attack speed item. Not on Midas. I'm talking something like an AC or a Mjolnir. So I'm not in love with it, and I'm normally, I think, a bigger fan of Basher than most people. But yeah,
I would agree with that. You are. But I again agree with you here that its use is not bad. It's not a bad item, but it's definitely not a traditional build. Now Gimli's gonna go here on Cone. Cone's gonna just fight him for a second, see if he can check off his mana. Uses his ult, but it's not enough. Cone Wolf blinks away. One crit there from Wraith King. Cone Wolf was risky even as it was, but he does survive. Now no mana available for Gimli.
Notice this: the Javelin is the item in inventory for Gimli. His Basher isn't done. If he had the Basher, he would have gotten that kill. And
it's on the courier.
Don't discount the fact that he has a Midas with the attack speed because he also has treads. So he gets 60% attack speed. He attacks almost more than once a second. He's 0.87. And that's going to start scaling hard because the Midas gives him that bonus gold. He's going to scale like crazy if he's given the space. And I don't know if that's going to happen because they've switched him to the top lane versus Anti-Mage. I'm not 100% sure I understand their game plan because look, he comes back, Gimli comes back, and he's just going to right-click War Anti-Mage.
He does have his Basher now. That's a great point. People do forget that Midas is a lot better on some heroes than it is on others. People that really want that attack speed, Midas gives as much attack speed as treads. And we've all heard people say, oh, you know, boots are such great items, so convenient. He gets the first stun on Cone, second stun from it just naturally. Ooh, that bash on Cone really hurt. He cannot contest Wraith King in lane right now. This is anti-mage against Wraith King. This is Wraith King with a Midas, and Wraith King just said,
I think bottom needs some attention now.
Yep.
And Haha set himself up. He knows they're there.
Not a great fissure though.
Swap. Not a great fissure. Blocked off his team. But here comes Haha. He's coming in. Haha is getting chunked down by the sniper, but gets his ult off first. But Sniper does so much damage. Pops the Mask of Madness. Blueslice tries to go. Is he going to do enough damage? No! Sniper's still alive! Skywrath finally takes him out, but now Skywrath is also dead. Slows from Bristleback, and the Quills kill him. It's a 4 for 2. Wraith King the only one alive, and he's TP down here, but now he's in trouble. This is not the fight he wants. They're going to steal his mana. He cannot respawn. He can only bash one at a time, and he goes down.
All right, so
Anti-Mage again outdoing it. Dust, please, big team victory recap. Give it to us.
Big things that happened. So you saw how Romania came up into here, and then they just sort of backtracked. Haha set himself up here. He fissured and he split. He split the Romanian team. I don't feel that the Venge's swap did anything. Because then they went and ran into the secret shop together, like, and bunched up. But the real problem is we're seeing that Ravage comes in, deals a lot of initial damage, but then nothing happens. Like, DP ult does stuff, but it doesn't do enough. And at this point, Bristle is now online. You know, and Venge does have enough health, and Lion does have enough health.
Ooh, Sniper takes out the Earthshaker. Thank you so much, Dust. Let's get Grumble's opinion, because I think he'll have some slightly different perspective, and I want to hear that different perspective. Go ahead, Grumble.
Yeah, I think the big misplay there, and it's always satisfying to be able to say this about the captain, the big misplay there was from Blueslice. Because you're absolutely right, they got the Ravage off. I think it caught 2 out of the 3 that were caught near the side shop. One of them was just out of range. At that time, Blueslice was chasing one of the heroes up towards a tier 1. All of the ghosts at the, what I think is a level 1, maybe level 2. I think it might have been at the time a level 1 ult.
Death Prophet?
Yeah, I think at the time it was a level 1 ult, so not many ghosts.
Should be right, yes.
They had all run up towards the tier 1 tower. So he turned round and came back down just as Ravage was wearing off. And the ghosts were still about 1,000 units behind him. at that stage. So there was no point at which the Romania team was stunned and receiving damage. So the whole combo was kind of messed up. It was Ravage into Echo Slam, but no follow-up damage from the kind of core carry who's meant to take care of that kind of stuff.
See, I think that's great analysis. To me, that's not on Blueslice really as much. That's on the Fissure. Because the Fissure, in my opinion, didn't really split Wave Romania. It split Wave Romania from the Team Kakapi heroes that were lining up on the west side in the Radiant gank spot and just couldn't go anywhere. Couldn't get to the enemies because they had to walk around the Fissure.
This was after. They went around the Fissure as a group. Then there was the Blink In, there was the Ravage, there was the Echo Slam.
Should take top here. Fight brewing middle. Go ahead, Grumble.
Let's do this middle fight. Ravage popped.
Oh wow, fight came out. Blueslice is getting chunked down by this sniper. It's very close, but he dies to the anti-mage ult. There was a sniper ult to follow. Ooh, big Echo Slam from Haha. Kills one. Slotcore kills him. Gimli's in the middle of the fight. Did not have mana for his ult again, and he falls. Sniper also takes out the Tide. Slow's coming out on Skywrath. Cannot TP away. It is a 5-man wipe. 5 for 2. Another big win for Wave Romania. Dustin, team fight
big
recap.
thing that happened. Ravage came down, was perfect. It just shut down Romania completely. But Bristleback was on the other side of the river, and sadly he had turned around, and Skywrath's ult did nothing. Literally nothing. Which is a big amount of damage, especially even with Bristle having 1.3k health. That ult, let's see here, what does it do at level 2? It deals, what, 1,000 damage. 1,000 damage. That's nearly all of Slatcore's health, and he was facing away, so it did nothing. And to me, that was the big things because...
Grumble, what are your thoughts on the team fight? Go ahead.
Yeah, it was a... They've left it too late. You know, I was keeping an eye on the graphs earlier when Kakapi were ahead on kills, and the whole way through, even with Wraith King's Midas securing him the top spot, the overall trend in terms of the teams has been that Wave Romania is ahead, even when they were down 1 to 5 in terms of kills and losing towers. And I would argue they got a much better scaling team as well. I mean, with Anti-Mage and Sniper, you've got your bases covered. I don't think Wraith King can right-click down both of them and Bristleback. And I think this is going to go the way of Wave Romania at this stage.
I agree, especially since Medallion is now up on Vengeful Spirits, negative armor, negative HP. They're going to get pinchered right now, bot lane.
Eventually, he's going to get caught out, though. But not killed by the Skywrath, and it's probably a dead Blueslice. Vengeful solo. Great Fissure. But...
3, 4 for 1.
Skywrath.
Oh, and Gimli's in there as well.
Right side of the trees.
I did not see Gimli there.
He's dying again. Good stun out on Gal. He's trying to trade blows with Slotcore, but Cenarius. And you know, there's not a lot of good gap-closing carries. Like, Wraith King, Tide Hunter builds a blink, he has a blink. He has the Blink Ravage on the Skywrath, but even if once he blinks, he doesn't really have any way to stop Cenarius from just popping a Mask of Madness, using the extra move speed from that, the Phase Boots, and the Yasha to just run away and reset. They don't really have anyone that can really lock him down. Wraith King has Midas Basher, no blink, no way to actually get to the Sniper, and Sniper is just more or less single-handedly winning these fights for this team. There's just no way around it. Good Fissure from Earthshaker on bottom. Go ahead, Dust.
It's at a point where we're seeing how low HP supports like Earthshaker and Skywrath just can't handle a team with a Bristleback, a team with a Venge.
They do kill the Sniper, though, as we're talking about this. Good execution from the Skywrath Mage to bring the damage and the Earthshaker to get the lockdown, but Sniper is dead. So maybe there's an opportunity here. We see the Radiant team say, alright, let's group up and push middle. We don't have Ravage, but there is a DP ult available as well as an Echo Slam. Wraith King ult in 75. Skywrath ult basically up. So if they can get maybe another kill, they could get a tier 1, maybe even a tier 2. But this tier 1's low health, 35. Comewolf does not have a Battle Fury. He's gone straight into Manta, and looks like he'll be skipping the Battle Fury this game, really relying more on the Sniper as a late game carry. A very interesting decision. Bristleback now has a haste rune. It's going to make this tower defense a little bit easier. There's another wave here. They're going to have to chop through that. Sniper's up in 20 seconds. Okay, DP ult comes out. A great vision from Earthshaker. Stuns 2. Silence on 2. There's a mech that comes out there. Maybe on the bristleback it was. He pops pipe as well. Vengeful Spirit goes down. Earthshaker Echo Slam comes in. Gets it off. Gimli goes in. No ult. He's dead. They're chopping through these heroes. Vengeful so far the only real casualty from the Dire. Slotcore is unstoppable. Gets a double kill. Now they're going to try to run out. Victor will try to TP away, and he does. Umarg's also alive. He's running. But without the Ravage available, they didn't have a chance. I'm not even certain that a Ravage would have really turned that around.
I'm not even sure that actually could have turned them around.
And
I think the problem was they didn't have any damage.
Yes.
I mean, they have the physical damage from Death Prophet. Nothing happened from it. Echo Slam got dropped on 2 illusions and 2 heroes. Nothing happened. And Skywrath, came down.
It looks like Dire's going to go to Roche here. Right off the push. Grumble. Push or Roche? They go for Roche. Good call.
Probably just on the basis that if you look at the levels, they're actually quite seriously out leveling the Radiant. So, if trying to push high ground now without that extra little bit of insurance, they would certainly win the team fight, but it might not be the quickest way to do it because you'd be running into that hole. Well, you kill 2 of them, and by the time you've got to grips with the other 2, the first 2 are back, and you're still winning and you're building up kills. But if you get that one wipe because they've just got much quicker hero rotations from the graveyard, then then maybe Kokopi could pull something back a little bit more here. But I mean, it's a straightforward game, I think, from here for Romania, especially now with that Aegis.
Yeah, but I mean, they have double the net worth. They have double the gold that the Dire side have. I think I keep on saying this after every team fight. They've got the initiation. They've got the stuns. They can stun a team twice, a whole team twice. But they don't have anything to follow up with it. You can ravage somebody and then fissure into Echo Slam somebody. If you don't have enough damage to take all their HP, it doesn't matter. And this is where Kokopi's at.
I mean, I don't think that's a drafting problem exactly. I think if Wraith King had got better farm, I think if... Oh, here we go, as we see...
Death Prophet ult comes out. Vengeful Spirit quickly killed, but now Dire can really just back up off of that.
Yeah.
Death Prophet ult used. Move on with their lives. For a Vengeful Spirit of all heroes, that's Vengeful's job to die.
And they did manage to put the Wraith King ult.
Yep, good point. Go ahead, Grumble. We are going to see a push on this tower. Any quick thoughts before we can see this next fight, Grumble?
No, let's see it.
Ravage is up. Let's see if they can actually execute
Ravage
with it.
is available. Death Prophet ult's close to ending, though. That's, as you pointed out, a big part of their damage. Gal blinks in, but immediately silenced, killed with the ult, and Wraith King is killed. Woo!
Earthshaker.
Earthshaker. So, alright, thank you, Grumble. The Maelstrom procs really coming into the deal, but this sniper is farmed. Sage and Yasha and Daedalus, along with that Maelstrom and Mask of Madness that he had earlier. Immediate stun, haha.
Can't discount the area. Well. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting, but you can't discount the aura HP bonus that Bristleback now has. He's got a pipe, he's got a mechanism, he's got a ring of Basilius, he now has basically his Black King bar finished. They can just walk. They don't even need to run. They can just saunter their way down middle lane, clearing creep waves and towers and buildings. I don't think that Kokopi at this point has the stopping power. Like, they couldn't advance to kill the tier 1 mid lane tower, and they haven't been able to stop towers being brought down. I mean,
this sniper is just so big.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they smoke up with Skywrath, Earthshaker, and Wraith King and get 2 kills, just 2 kills, that might change things. But it's going to be really hard to do it. I'm not saying they can't do it, but I mean, we've seen Venge get out of position. We've seen Venge and Lion make hazy choices that have a goal and nothing really happens out of it. So maybe they might get lucky and get 2 support kills. And 2 support kills is a big deal when it comes to, getting that gold, especially, versus, I don't know, a 15-2 sniper and a 2-0-9 anti-mage.
Well said.
Shadowblade picked up on Death Prophet. It's a very pubby item.
Wolf, It's not Cone Wolf. I thought it was like Cone Wolf for a second. I was like, Cone Wolf always buy these crazy Shadow Blades, but show them how the anti-mages game. Grumble, any advice for Team Kakapi on this high ground defense?
The high ground defense is where they can turn it around. I mean, it's why we're seeing Wave Romania be so cautious in doing this, because Kakapi can dish out insane amounts of damage, enough to easily team wipe Wave Romania if everything goes perfectly. And it's
here comes the Fissure. Isolates Sniper. Mask of Madness popped and Sky Without landed. Brings him low, but it is not enough. Sniper is distinctly alive, and Blueslice, the big damage dealer for the Radiant and their captain, is dead.
But there's an opportunity there.
If coming out here, but Cone Wolf blinks in.
There was an opportunity right then, about 10 seconds ago, for a Blink Echo Slam, which would have won Kakapi the team fight. Just when Sniper was still low health near the creep wave, that could have won them this team fight. From there, it would still be an uphill battle, but...
And look at this.
There are opportunities.
Skywrath Mage. They are just jiving them. Umark falls to the Sniper. This is bad. This is bad for the Radiant. I don't think this is possible.
Nobody
anymore.
has buyback.
Aegis reclaims.
It is the GG for the Blueslice.
G'st of G's.
So
I'm going to turn the stream back over to the Grumble for the outros. This is absolutely his stream, and it was supposed to be his cast. So Grumble.
Yeah, thanks very much for joining me, guys. Final thoughts.
Great victory for Cenarius. He carried his team on the Sniper. They really were not able to deal with him.
I'll eat my hat on the Vanguard pickup on Anti-Mage. I'm gonna eat it. Gonna make a nice big soup out of my out of my hat. But the big thing to me was that there was no damage on Kakapi's side. Like, they would get into a team fight, throw their ults down, stun everybody, and they didn't kill anyone. They really had that hope that Skywrath Mage's ult could, like, bring someone down, and then it's a 5v4, and then another ult, and then make it a 5v3. But that really it never spooled out to be what they hoped it to be. And I think the tipping point really came when Skywrath and Earthshaker left bottom and let Dire come in and kill Gimli. That first death, I really think, was the tipping point for Kakapi.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, well played to both teams. I'm sure Blueslice will be back later to try and get a few more points back. He's at 2, so right in the middle of the leaderboard right now. And we have a new king in Cenarius. Do you know if we're going to be doing another one, David? Well, actually, hold that question. Anybody tuning in on Twitch, thanks for watching. We will probably be going back for another one very shortly, so please stay tuned. But in the meantime, like, follow, subscribe, and yeah, have good games. Ciao.